Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late February 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Virgo collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for these lovely Virgos in late February? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Virgo gang. What is happening? What's the vibe for my good friends here as we move further through the new year? Let's go. Let's get this card out nice and quick. There we go. Ask and you shall receive. Beautiful. The Little Mermaid pays us a visit. Now, I don't know if you were the ones that got her a few weeks ago, but she has been a rare sight recently. I do like her because of her future focus. I feel like there's a lot of lovely energies connected to her, and it's something I've been seeing with the other earth signs this week as well. Before we fully dive into it, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk a little more in depth about this card. So we have our beautiful Little Mermaid Ariel chilling right there. Now, obviously, this isn't licensed, but when we see this, I just feel like it has all of those archetypes. We have that beautiful mermaid. She's under the sea. There's lots of beauty around her. But notice her head is in clouds, like looking up towards the horizon. And that's a big theme with the Little Mermaid, right? Yeah, she's a princess. She's in a beautiful place, but there's more that she wants to do. There's more that she wants to achieve. So when I see this card, that's kind of what I really resonate with, where it's like either I'm looking what's up, what's coming, what path I'm on. So for a lot of you, if you're not in that mode, Spirit might want you to, like, maybe set plans in motion that aren't even going to come together like in the short term. For some of you, it could just be a lot of overthinking too. That, I would say, that's the downside to this card, because her head is in the clouds. It could be a lot of fantasizing, a lot of imagination. Now, that could be good for any creative endeavors or creative pursuits. So just know that any sort of art and creativity and self-expression is highly favored here. But just watch out with the overthinking or over fantasizing about certain things, because that can most definitely be the case with this card. But I generally like it. I think it's a pretty solid energy, a pretty good energy. So we're going to let her keep daydreaming. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say this first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. Shuffle it up one time here for my beautiful Virgos. What is happening in late February? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It did seem for a good chunk of the collective there could be a lot of things, a lot of chapters that are closing out. The reading was titled A Big Ending. Now, you know life, it's all about beginnings and endings, right? It's like we're on a hamster wheel sometimes. But I did feel for a lot of Virgos there could be things that are coming to a crescendo, or things that are coming up to a point where it's like, okay, I'm either going into this new direction. There's just a lot of shifting energy and things closing out. So we're going to see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards for my lovely Virgos. What is going on in late February, please? Thank you. 3 wands. Lots of manifesting with that card. Also, head to the horizon. So we do have this really strong future focus, especially with this 3 of wands in position number 1. I do like it for the most part. Let's get a couple more. What we got for Virgo in late February, please? Thank you. Queen of Cups. Yeah. Yep, that is the vibe. I mean, that's an intense energy. It's soft, it's subtle, but it's also very intense. Let's get one more out here for you. What do we got for Virgo? Okay. All right, so we might have a different complexion here, because I know in recent weeks I've been getting some challenging readings here and there for you guys, but I'm liking what I'm seeing so far, especially on this back end. Now, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I kind of like what we're dealing with. Now, we're not I always look at the elements first, you know that, and I'm not seeing too much of one element. It's kind of evenly distributed, which feels good to me. We have fire, we have water, and then we have this really powerful Venus type of energy, which is blessings and abundance. It's usually very good. It could also be a little earthy. I guess it all depends on what lens we view it through. There's this really beautiful divine feminine energy connected to your reading this week too, which just fills my soul with potential. That's how I'm feeling initially. Now, there's still a lot to go, a lot to look at, but I'm cautiously optimistic about what we have for you. So let's go through piece by piece, really start to build this out. Position number one, we are starting with the Three of Wands. And we see this individual, they're looking off at the horizon, they're looking out to the sea, and the ships are on their way in, right? I do always say when this card shows up, somebody might be in a waiting pattern or holding pattern. So there could be something you're waiting on, an event you're waiting on, a person, you name it, where it's like, I'm just biding my time. That's a big thing with this card. But it's one of the bigger cards of manifesting, creating, being magnetic, pulling something to you. So whether it's good things, I mean, it's just like I'm attracting, I'm not chasing. That's a big thing with this card. So I love the Three of Wands. Now, it can also represent distance. It could also represent travel. But when I see it, it's like calm on the surface, but something is imminent. There is an energy brewing under the surface, because remember, wands are fire. Fire represents action. So although this looks calm, there's a power brewing under the surface. And the same is going to be said when we get over to this Queen of Cups as well. But a challenge with the Three of Wands, sometimes it could represent delays. Sometimes it could represent somebody that where two people are in a waiting mode, where it's like, am I wasting my time? Am I waiting for nothing? So those things could really be it. But yeah, with the Three of Wands, a challenge of it could be just either wasted time or a problem, right? Or an issue where it's like kind of stalling out, if that makes sense. Now, moving over to the center, we have the beautiful Queen of Cups. Now, for a portion of you, you might just be connected to a water sign. Remember, it's not gender specific here. We love the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, any of those. Now, if this doesn't represent an individual or a person, these could just be energies that are coming towards you right now. And I always say when we see queens, their court cards, they represent the internal aspect of the suit, the inside. Cups, that is the realm of emotion, imagination, love, nurturing, caring. That overthinking energy I picked up in the very beginning, this card does link to that too. And it goes double for this Queen of Cups. So for a lot of Virgos, you might be feeling things a little more intensely than you normally do. There could be something that's affecting you emotionally. Now, I do also say that the nurturing aspect of this is beautiful. It could also link to mother figures, motherhood in general. Notice she does have a pregnant belly. Same goes for the Empress that we have here on the back end. So there's this fertile energy that we're picking up in your reading this week, which looks really nice to me. Now, she can be a big, strong expression of love. This is someone that you could really speak to about things, right? This is a person that could be a shoulder to lean on. So whether that's something you need or something you have, it's just caring about something deeply. Now, the challenge with the Queen of Cups, she feels things so intensely, but she can suppress them. She could push things down. And that's where the warning comes in with her. Because with the Queen of Cups, she can suppress these intense emotions so much till eventually it erupts or it explodes out. That's what I always say. There's a warning with that with her. So we will take a closer look. I feel like it's good for the most part, though. It's just very soft, caring with its own potential. So we will see what is up with that beautiful queen. Now, moving to the back end, we have a double down of this potential energy. We have the lovely Empress. Now, as far as zodiac signs, this links to Taurus. It also links to Libra because this is Venus energy. So when we think of Venus energy, we think of pleasurable things. Notice I already said she has a pregnant belly. She has pomegranates all over her dress. This does represent abundance, exuberance, like having just tons and tons of anything you could want. So if we're talking about manifesting, if we're talking about things coming in, this is really lovely. She could represent wins, blessings, victories, you name all the good things, and she represents them to me. So get to manifesting in this time. I've been seeing that for a few signs. But if that's not the case, this could be an energy that's coming in. Big thing, just like her, so much love, nurturing, and caring. So for some Virgos, maybe that's something you need a little more of in this time, right? I'm not saying give. Maybe some of you just need a big old bear hug, right? Maybe you need a little nurturing yourself when these energies are showing up, or either you or somebody else might need it. But I feel like this is a really nice energy. Now, when we get to the challenge of the Empress, sometimes it could be an energy that smothers slightly. Okay, so just in this time, be cautious not to overdo something. Hopefully you're not feeling cornered or trapped. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Virgo. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Let's get a good shuffle here and see what's happening for my lovely Virgos. What's going on? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Three of Wands. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Virgo, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Three of Wands. Why is the Three of Wands here? Please. Thank you. Okay, Seven of Cups. Yeah, this daydreaming type of energy. Now, I do feel like this is good, but it's someone that's just like kind of letting the world pass them by. Why am I saying this? Why is this message coming through? Whether it's you or somebody else, when I see the Three of Wands with the Seven of Cups, again, there's a lot of potential energy here, which is something that I really do like. But it's like I'm having all thought and not much action. Okay, so in this time, that can be very important. Like if there's certain changes you want to employ, if there's certain things you want to do, yes, manifest it, yes, visualize it. That's what this alignment definitely represents, like being very particular, envisioning what you want and the outcomes you need. But I'm not seeing a lot of follow through, at least in the beginning here. Now, the Seven of Cups, it is a card of options, paths, and choices. So remember, I did say there's an energy that's building up. There's stuff coming in. So when I see this under the Three of Wands, you could have various things coming at you magnetically. So hopefully they're good things, right? That's what we're going to cross our fingers for. But this is also similar to her, similar to her, similar to her. In the very beginning, it's a card of daydreaming, thinking, fantasizing. So just know you might be up in your head a little more than normal, or someone you're connected to is. It's just in the brain. So I would say there could be a potential to really overthink things in this time. But as far as manifesting, this looks great. I feel like we're just reading a general energy here in the front. So we're just going to keep pushing. We're not going to read too much into it. I don't know why I mentioned that, like someone watching the world pass them by. Maybe that's a warning for some people, where you can't just wait forever. You can't just sit and wait forever. Someone's got to make a move eventually. Let's keep moving. Let's just keep going. We'll see why the Queen of Cups is here. Then we'll get over to that Empress. So why is the beautiful Queen of Cups here? Please. Thank you. See, your reading is very similar to the Capricorn reading this week, where it's like, no, we got some good stuff, but we also have this very wound tight type of energy. And I know I already gave you that warning about suppressing, overthinking. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but a lot of these cards are showing up. The Nine of Swords, you don't have to be an expert to understand that card. You already know this. It's a card of stress and anxiety. So whether this is someone you care deeply for, where they're in a stressful position or in a stressful place, like really, really just running something over and over and over in their head, that could be a big thing. But I do feel like this could be an emotional warning too. Like when I see the Queen of Cups with the Nine of Swords, this is somebody that is feeling something really intense, and it could be ups and downs and fluctuations. Now, I don't want to say this is a completely warning filled type of reading, because I still feel there's great potential surrounding it, but I feel like someone on the emotional level really needs to try to find a middle ground, if that makes sense, which is easier said than done, right? I give the advice like it's something that's easy. When you're going through certain things, it's hard to stay in that middle ground. But yeah, this Nine of Swords is very stressed, whether it's someone stressing or nervous about you stressed or nervous about somebody else. It just feels really wound tight to me. So we're going to keep moving, and we're just going to see what's up. That can be an emotional warning, but let's go in on the Empress, because she could definitely save the day. Let's see what the Empress has, then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Empress here for my Virgos? There's like so much good potential energy here for you, my friends. Okay, thank you. Beautiful. All right. Love this energy for you on the back end. It's like everything's worth it. So for some Virgos out there, there could be a process or something you are going through, something you are experiencing, where although it may be a little unsavory at the moment, when you cross that finish line, everything will be worth it. Okay, and I'm trying my best not to be too grandiose in my speech and my description words, but that's just how it feels to me. It's like we have the manifesting, then we have the process, then we have the result. So it's like we're creating it, we're experiencing it, but here is the final result. So I love this. We have the 10 of Pentacles in the upright underneath this Empress. That can't be anything short of a massive payoff or a blessing. And that's the big vibe I'm picking up here. It's like, all right, well, you might not see it now, but once you get through a certain process, it'll all be worth it and then some. The 10 of Pentacles is a card of leveling up. It's a card of expansion. It's sturdy, it's stable. It could also represent the family, the home. So there's really great energy surrounding this, the potential. And I said that here in the beginning. Yeah, there's a lot of energetic potential, but this is where the fruits of your labor really come in. So again, I feel for a lot of you, it could come in a very short period too, for a big portion of you, where it's like, oh, something you've been working towards or something you've been wanting. Here it is. So to me, that is either a massive payoff or a blessing in the end, which really feels nice to me. I love it. I think it's great. Let's go through and do a quick recap here, Virgo, because I feel like this ending is worth it. Whatever it is to you, it's worth it. Let's do the recap before the shadow. Position number 1, we're starting with the 3 of Wands and the 7 of Cups in reverse. I did say there's been this strong theme ever since the beginning of possible overthinking certain things, thinking things into the ground. So watch out for the overactive mindset. And we get it here in the front especially. But when I see the 3 of Wands with the 7 of Cups, it's like you're bringing something towards you. You're manifesting it. It's imminent. There's something big coming in, but there's just this really strong propensity to overthink it, if that makes sense. I did also say don't let life pass you by. So if there's something you've been waiting on like forever, or feels like forever, someone needs to make a move at some point. Moving to the center, we have the Queen of Cups with the 9 of Swords, a very stressed, anxious, and nervous type of energy. I did say this could be an emotional warning. Whether you or somebody else could be going through something, going through a process that is a little unsavory, and it might not be the easiest thing. So yeah, that is possible emotional ups and downs aside from the overthinking. But getting to the back end, all of those little warnings are worth it, because we have the Empress, the blessings, the abundance, the 10 of Pentacles, the level up type of energy. So it's like when you get to the end of the road, this is your hard work paying off, or something paying off for you. So it's like your effort will be worth it. The energy you're putting into it will be worth it. So again, either a blessing or a big payoff here. Really lovely. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. Let's get a good shuffle here from my Virgo friends. I like that. I like how we ended off that reading. But yes, I always like to pull one of these at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get you your shadow card here. What do we got? What do we got for Virgo? Thank you. All right, the Star. So that reinforces the big theme we've been seeing here, and I'll explain why. Now, the Star card, that does link to Aquarius, so if you're connected to an Aquarius, their energy could still be attached in one way or another. Now, if that's not the case, when I see the Star, it's wish fulfillment. When you wish upon a star, so we've had themes of manifesting. A big thing with this card is future, and another theme that we've been seeing since the Little Mermaid in the very beginning is don't just plan for the short term, plan for the long term. And that's what this star tells us. It's like a light at the end of the tunnel. It's a reason for optimism. Now, when we get to the challenging aspect of the star, watch out for pessimistic thinking and mindsets, or even if there are certain individuals around you where they bring the vibration down or their pessimism affects you, this is a big shadow side to the star, because it could be someone smothering your light. So just watch out for that. And this time, if there's anyone that dims your light in any sort of way, try your best to not let it affect you. I mean, easier said than done, right? But I do feel this links into that payoff that I've been seeing. So I love it, Virgo. But yeah, my friends, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The February subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out the availability and my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com, so we could get a little forecast for the next few weeks for you. But for the February subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, if you could snap your fingers right now and wish for something, what would it be? It could be anything except more wishes. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll talk to you soon.